Hey guys, it's been a while. It's been quite some time since I've done this actually, and I feel kind of bad about that. Actually, I feel really bad about that. My life has been pretty crazy. Okay, I'm gonna try and remember everything, and I probably still won't, but I'll fill you guys in on stuff afterward. Last weekend, I went home for the weekend. And I just hang out with my family and stuff. Me and my mom went and got pedicures, had a good time, doing whatever. I'm gonna look bald in this video. I have hair, promise. I have some. Just, having a girls' weekend, whatever. And then we go to the races because it was the first race day of the season. Except it wasn't really races, it was practice, the first practice of the season. It was the first day that the track was open for Nathan, who does four-wheeling, except Matt and Jake are doing it this year too. So anyway, we're at the track Friday night and waiting and freezing our butts off because it's really freaking cold outside. And they only have a few classes for practices because it's not an actual race, so you're not it's not supposed to be competitive or anything. So they only have 5 classes or something, big bikes, which is adult men who ride dirt bikes. They have the little pee-wees, who are the little kids who ride four-wheelers and dirt bikes, the four-wheelers class, all the four-wheelers, whatever. I have a bunch of those. And basically, there were so many people there that were in the big bikes class. They had almost 200. So they decided that they were going to have to do their time, their little practice time, into different sections. So they were going to let half of the people go, and then once they got off the track, let the other half of the people go. Which is all well and good, except the first round of guys went and they were going around the track, practicing, whatever, getting used to the track. And then a bunch of them came off before they got the checkered flag to force them to get off. So they get off the track, they do a lap around the pits, and they go and they line up to go ride in the second class too. And so then the second class has to be split in half again. So then the second class goes blah, 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 blah. And that happens over and over and over again, where these adult men are taking advantage of the entire day. And mind you, you have to pay money to get in, to watch. You have to get money, you have to pay money to watch. You have to pay money to ride. You have to pay money to take a vehicle inside the pits. So if you have 3 four-wheelers, you have to pay for 3 four-wheelers to be on the track. You have to pay to be a rider. You have to pay to be a maintenance person, which, whatever, that's my dad, whatever. So my dad has dropped a bunch of cash to get us all there. And these dirt bikes, these adult men riding dirt bikes on the weekend, are taking such advantage of the thing. An hour later, they're finally no, stop. Took them an hour. Each practice is only 5 minutes. It was ridiculous. So Matt and Jake and Nathan were all sitting on their four-wheelers for an hour waiting for their turn on the track. And then it was a big mess, and Jake was going off a jump and the chain broke or something, so he only got to do a lap and a half, and then he had to push the four-wheeler the rest of the way. It kind of sucked for him. But anyway, that was my last weekend. And then during the week I just had crazy classes and stuff, getting ready for finals and whatever, and studying and rock climbing and, I don't know, doing what I do best, which is not sleeping. So that was that weekend. And then this past weekend, which was eventful, got real weird real fast. The past Friday, on Friday, all my brothers are going, and this latest Friday, I'm struggling. Okay, this latest Friday, they were at the track again, except for today was that day was actually a race day, so they had a bunch of different classes, and people, were taking turns and being nice and playing fair, whatever. So they're, at the track, they're racing. Matt and Jake ride in the same class, obviously, because they have the same four-wheeler and they're the same age. Weird how that works. So So anyway, they're riding in the same class, and they're like neck and neck with each other the whole time. Mind you, I wasn't there. I stayed here this weekend. Here is in Logan, Utah. This weekend, so I didn't see any of this, but this is the story that I got. There's like a big tabletop jump right down in the front of, like right in front of the stadium, whatever. And I don't know if you guys know what that means or not, but anyway, it's like a big jump, and Jake was right in front of Matt, except for they were kind of like, Jake was in front of Matt, but they were like next to each other because Matt was trying to pass him at the straightaway or something. I don't know. So Jake like takes the jump, gaps it, but in mid-air, he turns a little bit, not mid-air, but like as he was going off the jump, he turned a little bit into Matt, and so they both crashed, came off their four-wheelers going off the track, everything, and they're both on the ground. And my parents freaked out. Apparently, like, we always sit at the very, very top of the bleachers because you can have backrest up there. It's pretty nice. Anyway, we sit at the top of the bleachers, and apparently my dad ran down the stairs, hopped the fence. My dad's not a small man, and he's not a very agile man, and he hopped a fence and was like running to the boys because he was freaking out so bad. Jake's fine. He like hit his knee and tweaked it a little bit, so now he's like limping, has some knee pain, whatever. Matt landed in such a way that he messed up his back really bad, so he couldn't stand up. And he also has a big old gash on his chin. So he and I now have matching chin scars. He had to get 6 stitches. Anyway, so Matt didn't get up. Jake hit the ground and then kind of like rolled over and got up pretty fast and like went to go get the four-wheeler kind of. And Matt was just laying there. So like the medics come over, you know, whatever. Long story short, trip to the ER. He can move everything. He's not paralyzed or anything, but he has a lot of back pain. So they're thinking that he screwed it up pretty bad. But he's not like paralyzed. It's not that serious. But anyway, so, and mind you, this is the same night that they were searching for that guy and like found him in the boat. So me and all my friends are watching, not all my friends, my roommates are watching the news, like waiting for them to get this guy to come out of the boat. And I get this call from my mom, except for my phone didn't ring. It just like went straight to voicemail. And so I get this voicemail from my mom, and she's like, "We're on our way to the hospital with Matt. I'll call you back when I know more." Sunday. I panicked. I freaked out so bad. And I called her and she didn't answer. I called my dad and he didn't answer. I called Nathan. Nathan didn't answer. I called Jake. He didn't answer. And I didn't call Matt because he was in the ER. And I was like, nobody's answering their phones. I have no idea what's going on. One of my brothers might be dead. And there's a terrorist in Boston somewhere. I was freaking out so bad. But anyway, my mom like called me back and she was like, "Oh, sorry, I guess it wasn't that serious." Thanks, Mom. That was a great time for me. An awesome time. So much fun. And anyway, my last order of business happened on Saturday, which is the wonderful holiday of 420. And it was also, I self-designated that day as Erin is my favorite roommate day. So I like wrote it on my roommates' calendars that day was Erin's favorite roommate day. Erin is my favorite roommate day. And so like I was gonna hang out with them, but they were like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "Guys, I'm your favorite. What do you want to do?" Basically we didn't do anything, but this guy Alex, who I think I've told you guys about, I go climbing with him. He's friends with my roommates Hallie and Emily, who are the pot smokers, so he's a pot smoker. He like wanted to hang out, whatever, and he was like into me, like really into me. I'm gonna have to redo this video. I'm just gonna make it go over time if I have to. Sorry guys, Tiana, mostly you, even though your video was more than 10 minutes last time. Okay, only by 1 second though. So anyway, he like wanted to hang out. He was like really into me, so I'm like trying not to lead him on because I don't like want anything to happen because, you know, the year is coming to a close. We only have 2 more weeks left of anything that might happen. And like he's my climbing buddy. Like I don't want to date him and then have it get awkward, like break up, you know, whatever, and then have nobody to go climbing with and just stop climbing. And it's overtime. Okay, so anyway, I'm like trying not to lead him on, but I enjoy his company, you know. So I like agree to hang out with him because my roommates are being lame. And we're just like walking around campus, you know, whatever. And we decided to go get Jamba Juice. So then we go off campus, get Jamba Juice, come back. We're just like hanging out on this little like lookout place by my apartment. And it was really cute, guys. It was really cute. He was like flirting with me, and then I got cold because I was in a light jacket. It was this one. I was in this light jacket, and it's like cold up here still. So I started like shivering, and he was like, "Are you cold?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he like unzipped his jacket and like wrapped it around me. So I'm like hugging him, and his jacket is around me, and like zips it up behind my back. It was cute. I kind of melted a little. And then, anyway, we were just kind of like talking, whatever. The sun starts going down. And then the sun is like close to the mountain range. Like, if this is the top of the mountain range, the sun's like up here. And he was like, "Let me know when the sun starts going behind the mountain." And I was like, okay. And then we just like go back to normal conversation. And a couple minutes later, he like turns around and he looks. Oh, because he was facing away from the sunset. He turns around and he looks, and he's like, "You didn't tell me." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "You didn't tell me the sun started going behind the mountain." And I was like, "Oh, the sun started going behind the mountain." And he was like, "All right, thanks." And like grabbed my face and kissed me. And yeah. So I spent the rest of that night like having a grand old time, making out with my climbing buddy. That's all I have to say about that. Sorry that this video is super long. I think you'll get over it. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later.